AftermathmotoFZ. I ride an FZ-09. Also ride a YZ-250. I tend to be a Yamaha guy nowadays, but I'm not brand loyal. I raced Suzuki's my entire career. Suzuki 250 two-stroke and 125 two-stroke. Haha, my name is Jason. These are some of the apparel pieces that I purchased today. If this is just only for beginners, all the other guys, I should be taking notes and lessons from you. But for the beginners, hey, wear a vest if you can, something like this. They're lightweight, help your chest from impact. Your spine is very, very important. That one looks like a crazy reptilian. It's got this crazy reptilian like bend to it. It's nice, it's cool. It's a little bulky on the tail end of it, but hey, I guess that's supposed to help your tailbone and all that, yeah? Get a good helmet. This one's decent, but if you're riding on the highway, I mean, get a good helmet. This is a cool helmet, okay? It's got some nice ventilation and it's real disco, and I dig it, and I ride with it. But I'm definitely gonna get a different helmet. I didn't realize how much road noise there is on the freeway. I have my headphones in, and I gotta crank up the headphones just to. I mean, I'm hurting my ears just by having to crank it up so loud that I can't hear the road noise too bad. And then I also got some Icon pants, which are Kevlar. These are Kevlar pants. They come with some little nifty little knee pads. You just put them in these little pockets right here on the side, whoop, and you have knee protection, patella and all that, yeah. But this is basically about the FZ-09. I just went on FZ-09.org, became a member. If you own this bike, you should do so too. You can get cool parts and stuff for cheap and get to go ride with people and whatever and get some cool tips. I was doing some battery maintenance. I put it on my battery charger. It was on there for about 3 seconds and it said, "Up, you're full, you're good." The factory unit, and the dealer, Thousand Oaks Yamaha, cool guys over there. They installed this little low trickle charge adapter. You can just plug it right in here. That's just whatever. I use some stuff with smart technology. The trickle charge, yeah. So I'm taking that off right now, so that's what I'm busy with. But I did an oil change too. So basically, this is what it's all about. Not a 15-minute thing. This should be really, very fast. If you can, use an oil wrench to take the oil filter off. I will dig it out of the trash just so you would have had a mangled unit this was. Okay, here we go. Total unprofessional video. But yo, I wanted to show you this. Is that... Yeah, that sucks. I had to chew the shit out of this thing out and had to get it out. Best thing to do is get a good oil filter wrench. 3 quarts of Yamaha lube and original Yamaha filter. 17mm wrench. I like the long style wrench right there. You can use the ratcheting style, but the long style is good so you don't bust your knuckles right off, and you really don't need a breaker bar with that. The problem with a socket is sometimes those sockets tend to want to come right out of the corner and they're not squared up and they round off, and then you're pissed, and they are on there tight from the factory, the lock nut. You also want to replace the washer that's in there. It looks like the ring of a spark plug, the little spark plug washer. I was not professional enough to hold that out and get a photo of it, but you get the point. And some coffee. Make sure your coffee cup is filled. I got some cardboard on the floor. This was started during the daytime and now it's night. Have some cardboard just in case you were clumsy and you dropped it. And a little bucket is always nice. Some oil right there in the corner. Get a nice bucket. That's about 3 quarts worth. So basically, that's where you fill it from. I'm gonna get a little nifty anodized piece. Yada yada yada. Anyway, so it shouldn't take you very long. You take the 17mm wrenches, turn the nut off, pour it into the bucket, and you should be good to go. And then from there, you take the oil filter off. Take your time, twist it off to the left, and you should be good. Now I'm going to fill it back up, and I follow the manual. And the reason why I wanted to show you guys this is mostly some suspension settings that you guys should be aware of. In your manual, page 4, okay, page 419, 418 and 419, go in your manual and there's a whole bunch of settings. And if you're turning them on the forks, you turn them from, you're looking at them and you're turning them clockwise, that's the A position. And then if you turn it to B, it's counterclockwise. That is in a preload adjustment. And then you also have a rebound adjustment screw that's on the very top. You can totally see that's the most noticeable adjustment screw that I saw out of everything until just a little bit ago, when I saw that there was another adjustment other than the spring preload, which I did earlier, right there. I did that a couple days ago, but then because I was looking through the manual, and you can see a rebound setting that's right there in the middle of the frame, which is right. It's hard to see, guys. So it's right in there. And if I pan back, it's right into that little hole right there. So if you look at your manual, you can do these adjustments yourself. You don't need to go to any professionals, and take your time. The more that the preload adjustment is to the top tier, meaning as it climbs this little step, that little bugaboo right there, you can see that little knob right there, and it runs on that track right there. And what you can see is right here, if I focus in on it, so obviously if it goes down those stairs, the spring's going to be much softer. It's going to give it release pressure, okay? And then the more it climbs up those stairs too, it's almost at its very top. The spring has more tension and becomes more firm off the bottom, definitely. With the top of those screws, you don't need to loosen anything. All you got to do is take that adjuster, take a nice 14mm wrench. Again, having a ratchet type wrench like this right here is really nice, because you can get in there and you can make it at especially if it has an angle. You can get in there and you don't really have to keep lifting it and putting it back on there. And this is aluminum stuff, so it kind of will mar. It'll mar a bit. And you make those adjustments, the screw adjustments. I brought mine down. You can see these little tiny notches right here. I brought mine down 1 notch. And basically, I was reading that for every so many millimeters, equals so many kilograms of weight that it puts on the spring. So you can make those adjustments. I wanted to put more weight, more preload, because every time I hit the front brakes, it wanted to dive really hard, man. Not a cool feeling. In fact, I think I'm going to tighten it down about maybe one other bar, go an additional bar down to put more tension on the spring, and therefore create less of that dive when I have to hit the brakes, especially if you're going into a turn and something jumps out at you, or you see a pothole you didn't see entering the turn. You don't want to be slamming on some brakes and that whole front end dive, and then the chassis starts to lose where it's going, and then you crash, or you just get out of shape and it scares the shit out of you. So basically that's it. Oh, and then you have your other adjustment screw. That's the most noticeable one right there. It's right next to your speedo on that top right fork. That's your rebound adjustment. And then you can see in here, I'm going to try to get, so you can see right there, it says the tension, and then there's a H and an S, and it's harder, softer. The harder it is, the faster it goes. That means it's going to be more abrupt. The softer it is, the slower it's going to go. It's not going to be so abrupt, and it's going to be a little bit more forgiving. And then you can play with those. And then again, the manual says it has all the different turnouts. You'll see it right there, rebound and dampening settings for soft, standard, and max. I'm going to go to all the standards right now, except for my spring preload, which I got pretty much maxed out. There's one extra click in there, but it's like right at the edge, and I just don't feel comfortable with it, so whatever. I'm going to just keep it there. And then I went with the standard setting here. It's really hard to see in there. There it is. That little guy, I swear he's down in there, but whatever. Alright guys, well, good luck with the oil change. If you got it, definitely if you have some Yamaha Lube. I just went to Yamaha dealer. Just use their stuff, right? That's what they designed it for. A 17mm for the oil change, and an oil wrench, and a 14mm. You can use a socket, but I would prefer, I would suggest, using an open or box hinge wrench like that, a ratcheting one for your for your suspension, and a flathead screwdriver. Good luck. Go ahead and comment, man. I don't give a shit. I'm an amateur at this because I'm too busy trying to do the oil change, but I was given a once over. It should be on the YouTube, whatever. Happy riding.